Well, good day, everybody. As I was sitting there going through my email today, I came across something which led me to do what I'm doing now, which is different than what I've done before. And I never really planned to do anything specifically this way when it comes to videos because there's so many people that do this stuff. And quite frankly, but I have to say it. I was going to emails and in there came across this article right here from the New York Post. Gen Z employees are bringing their own work ethic into the office, and here's how employers should respond. Quotes an expert, apparently. Well, what do they have to say? I mean, they're getting into the workplace, yes, but what exactly does this have to say? I read the whole thing and decided it needs translation. So let's begin. As the year 2024 gets underway, of course, many people are heading back to work to their 9-to-5 jobs after the holiday break. And you got these quiet quitting lazy girl jobs, as they like to call them, and bare minimum Mondays. I mean, they're trends on social media, mostly on the TikTok, and they're floated by many members of Gen Z and the millennials who just don't want to follow traditional employee standards. In other words, they don't really want to work. So what we have here is this, where they get that the lazy girl job is a term for those that want to quiet quit. And bare minimum Mondays is explained as someone doing the absolute bare minimum to get through a Monday. Well, my experience with a lot of younger workers is it's not bare minimum Monday. It's bare minimum Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every day. And that's why they don't last. They don't get paid what they think they should get paid or want to get paid because they don't do it. And that is the problem. I mean, if you come to work and you only put in $10 an hour worth of work, I'll pay you $10 an hour. If you come to work and the work you're putting in is worth $30 an hour, I'll pay you $30 an hour. You don't get to sit there and do $10 an hour worth of work, but get paid $30 an hour. That's not how it works. Anyway, this guy went on to Fox and Friends, and what he had to say here was that the employers, they're going to have to mentor and coach these employees. And so the employers are going to continue to guide the new employees through the day-to-day rather than just throw them into the mix. You're going to have to coach these younger employees through data, more than you have those of any past generation. So in other words, that means a lot of hand holding, nose wiping, and butt wiping. And what does that give us? It gives us absolutely nothing of value. Seriously. They don't want to do anything. They want to work less. They don't want to work as much. I mean, you get people now even talking about the 4-day work week. Well, what the hell are you going to do with the 4-day work week? I had one employer where I worked at the 4-day work week. Everybody worked Monday to Friday, right? And you would do 8 to 10 hours on average. Now, myself, I worked Monday to Thursday. And I made a deal with the employer because I was the only one that traveled. I had to drive in every week and drive home at the end every week. I was the only one that traveled. So I worked 4 days a week. And I would work a little bit longer, but I would work the 4 days a week. So I'd go home Thursday night. And every Thursday I get home about midnight. But then I had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And of course, I would get paid to drive back to work on Monday morning. However, I got paid starting at 7 a.m. when you would normally be at work. Because he paid me to travel, but he paid me by the hour and mileage. And then it turned out he just paid my fuel. But sometimes I would leave a couple hours early if I was up just to get there earlier because the boss treated me so well that it just seemed fair to sometimes not ding him for them extra couple hours on the road every day. But you can't have a 4-day work week. But then you get here where they're talking, where they want the 4-day work week. And he says the 4-day work week is in works and is absolutely a thing that is going to happen. Now, probably will happen, but the problem is is they figure that they're going to cram 5 days into 4 days, which you can't. And they go on to sit here and say this. You simply can't just shove 5 days of work into a 4-day work week without certain systems in place. And it's definitely only going to be advantageous to each individual industry or company. It's not going to change a lot of things. So you have it that they sit there and they got all these terms: quiet quitting, which is doing what you're supposed to do, lazy girl job. So in other words, they sit there and say a lazy girl job, and it's so, and trying to mean that, it's a girl going to get in, she's going to have a high exec job, but not have to do the work, but make all the money. Well, quite frankly, that almost falls into anybody under the age of 30 these days, which originally anybody under 30 was coined as the term for anybody under 30 or under 25 was Generation X, until my generation came along and took that term and solidified it as ours for our generation, flat out. That's another story about how that started. But they think that they're going to have this quiet quit. We're going to rock and roll, and we're going to do this, and we're going to get this, and we're going to work 32 hours. We're going to pay for 40. I'm going to do work that's quality at a bare minimum of a minimum wage quality, but I want executive style pay. It doesn't work that way. It seems that everybody has forgotten through all this. You read this in the New York Post, and you're going to have to handhold the new generation. You're going to have to wipe their nose for them. You're going to have to constantly pat them on the back and tell them, oh, you're a good boy. You're a good girl. You did so well. There was a gentleman who commented in the comments on one of my older videos. And the one thing he pointed out is works in construction, labor trainer, I think was what he listed as what he does, and said that he can't believe every day he's got them always coming up to him going, did I do a good job today? Did I do a good job today? And he said, well, you didn't get hurt. You didn't kill me. Well, let's see how tomorrow goes, and if you didn't hurt or kill anybody, and then maybe we'll see if you're doing a good job. You don't need a pat on the back every time you do something. I mean, that was way too much of all this a damn participation trophy and ribbons for everything. It was a load of shit. It ruined an entire generation, and there has to be a way to fix it. Anyway, that's all I got to say on this. I couldn't let it go. I seen the article. I could not let it go. I had to give some basic translation. We'll see where it goes from there. Anyway, I'm out. This is Drac. Till next time, see you later, and peace out, everyone.